Hip thrust. Hip thrusts are used to train your glute max in its most shortened or its most squeezed positioning. For this exercise, you're gonna go ahead and need a barbell. If you don't have a barbell and you're just beginning, practice the form, perfectly fine. But you are gonna go ahead and need a bench to give us this elevated surface. If you're working at a commercial gym or you're working with a commercial gym and you have a hip thrust machine, the same cues will still apply. The only difference is that you'll have a more secure structure and you'll just use a belt instead of an actual barbell over your hips. If you are working at a more garage type style gym and you have a bench like this, what we're gonna wanna do is instead of leaving it in this neutral high position, we're gonna go ahead and unlock it. And we're actually gonna make it a little bit more decline, okay? And what this is gonna do is it's actually gonna help us to bring ourselves up onto the bench without having to exert so much energy. If, for instance, we're loading up 150, 200 pounds, and it'll save us all that energy before we actually get up into our hip thrust, okay? When we're talking about hip thrust, we wanna kind of think about the bottoms of our shoulder blades as command hooks. Yes, command hooks. Think about the bottoms of the shoulder blades hooking onto this edge of the bench. This is going to give us a more secure foundation for when we're lifting and thrusting around 150, 200 pounds. All right, so once we're in position, right, so my shoulder blades are meeting the edge of the bench, we're going to go ahead and make sure that our knees are right over our ankles, our toes are going to slightly rotate out, and from here we're going to bring down that rib cage down towards that pelvis. This is going to help get rid of a lumbar extension, and then it's also going to tighten or make sure that our core is nice and firm for when we are lifting the barbell into the air. Take a nice deep breath in. We're going to bring down that rib cage down towards that pelvis. Hip is going to tuck into a neutral positioning, okay? So anterior pelvic positioning, that's not what we want. Neutral. From here, everything is nice and secure. I'm pinning into the bench. We're going to come down and we're going to come up. Cue that I'd like for you to remember is a lot of people come up into this hip thrust before full lockout and head back down. We're gonna come down, up, slightly, and that's when you wanna feel that tension in your glutes. So again, down, full lockout squeeze, down, full lockout squeeze. All right, now that we have our basic form down, you're gonna go ahead and roll that barbell in. Make sure that it's centered. There's gonna be little grooves in the barbell that are gonna kind of show you and direct you. If you're up in the air and you feel it a little wonky, come back down, reset. That barbell is over our hips. We're gonna forcefully sometimes bring in our feet close to our bodies. Again, shins at 90 degrees. We're gonna go ahead and take a nice deep breath. Our shoulder blades are hooked onto the bench. Nice big breath. Up into the air.